Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the 10th episode of our Playing Through Our Collection 2022 and Beyond, Part 4 of the Bees.
Episode 10.
I said episode 10.
Did you say episode 10?
I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
I didn't hear her say episode 10.
I'm pretty sure I did.
If she did, she'll even tell you that she did.
I did. Anyhow, we wanted to start this one out in case you're just now tuning into this series, kind of give you an idea of what we're doing and why we're doing it.
If you're only tuning into this one, there's 9 more before it, so
you've got some catching up to do. We have a collection of roughly, well, we have 2 collections total, roughly 1,700 games, 16 to 1,700 games. We've actually reduced it by a little bit. We have our main collection, which a lot of these are from. We also have what we call a travel collection. Several years back, we got involved with the choir department at our local high school when both of our boys were in it. As one of the fundraisers that we did, we started doing a local game night for families, for the families of the school, for the area. And most of the people I spoke to, they weren't into the hobby games. So you got to start them somewhere. So we started collecting mass market type of games, party games, group games, the trivias, the clues, the monopolies, the sorries, those types of mass market games. Well, that collection has amassed over 1,000 games. Game nights lasted for about a year, and then they dwindled off. You know, football kind of took over, I'm afraid. But since then, since COVID, right before COVID started, we actually started going to some special events for other choirs, for other schools, and taking parts of the collection with us. Well, here's the problem now. That collection, as I said, has amassed over 1,000 pieces, and
we'll never take 1,000 games to it.
It literally fills a bedroom. So no, those are never going with us anywhere. So we are in the process of reducing that collection dramatically. But to do so, to make educated choices, we got to play them, right? We got to know if they're any good. So that's what we're doing. So again, playing through our entire collection, both collections, started on January 1st, and we'll probably go for a few more years, considering we are just now at part 4 of the Bees.
In 2030, we might be done.
I'm hoping it doesn't last that long. I feel like the A's, B's, and C's had a lot of games in them.
Yeah, well, we haven't even gotten to the C's yet.
We're almost there.
We're still in the B's.
We're almost there. We'll be there by the end of the month. So, but anyhow.
So before we get started, go ahead and just subscribe to the channel. That way you're already there.
Hit the bell. That way you'll know when we post new videos.
And like the video. The more likes we get, the more this gets out there and the more people can see it and look at this collection and say, why are they playing those games? But you never know. So with that, I have 17 games over here that we played through in the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
So, and we had a little bit of help, but not a lot of help this week. But
this time frame,
yeah,
couple weeks.
So let's get started here. We'll start off with a hobby game, Brandon the Brave. This is a game for ages 5 to 99, so we don't feel so bad since the last hobby game it was ages 3 to 6.
Hey, I won this one. It's one of the few, believe me.
To put it, Katie had a really rough go at the Bees this week. So she is you won 3 of these games?
3 of these games.
Of the 17 games.
I'll point them out as we get to them.
This one she won. This has a little bit of a Carcassonne feel.
It really does. I actually really enjoy it.
Because you have little triangle tiles and you're placing little triangle tiles depending on the we keep track.
Triangle tiles, see?
And you're building it to where things match up. And if you get an area that has 2 X's that are matching, you get to put
one of your tokens
that has a color that matches it. So like this one, it's showing red and green though. So if that was a red or a green 2 X's, you could put that token on. The person who runs out of their tokens first wins the game.
You're matching up the X's. You're also matching up, if I can find another one. Oh, here we go. What is it called? The jousting circle?
Yes.
The jousting circle in the middle.
So
and when you get all 6 of them,
you get to put
you
one
get
in
to
there.
put one of your pieces on that as well. And you can put any piece on there, not just a specific one.
Plus
So
you're
that was kind of
looking
cool.
for,
You're looking for the horses.
what
which
is his
are
name? Something Confused.
Conrad the
Conrad the
Confused.
Confused.
you're
So you're
looking
looking
for
for
his
his horses. So whenever you find his horse, he's moving,
Yep, he moves around.
and you can't put
If you do place a tile, so if Conrad is at this horse piece and you put this tile here, then you get to go again.
yes,
You get to draw
that's
another
the thing.
tile. So that was kind of cool. It actually, I really enjoyed this one. I was
It's played pretty quick.
surprised, yeah.
I mean, it tells you what,
Yeah, it's a pretty fast game.
10 minutes, and
Yeah.
that's about what it took us. So
Yeah, no, very, very fun if you've got a younger children and
you can
looking
introduce
for a
them to
decent
Tile
one.
Lane.
This is a great introduction to Tile Lane and having to match that territory, having to match the landscape up. So yeah.
So this
one's
one
a
will
good
probably
one.
stay over
Yeah.
there because sometimes parents have their kids with us
Yes.
at these competitions or things we go to. So
So this will be a good one.
here we
So
go.
that is Hubba, Brandon the Brave.
Next is another kids game, which
I was winning this one and
you
then
lost it.
I lost it.
BoobyTrap.
Booby Trap.
That's what I said. BoobyTrap.
Not aging yourself at all there.
Most
Okay.
people get that reference, I
I'm
would
sure
hope.
they do. Okay, so Booby Trap is, well, exactly like it looks. There is a big plastic board and you're sticking all these little pegs into it. I'm not gonna open it. They look
This is hard
like,
that peg to open. Looks like what's
it
on the
looks
board.
exactly like what's on the board.
Some are
So anyway.
smaller. The green ones are smallest. Yellow's in the middle, and the blue's the biggest.
There's a rubber band underneath the board that controls the tension on the whole thing. And you've got little,
Pegs on the side.
basically you've got little sheets that tell you what color you need to have.
Yes.
You can pull others out, but you don't get to keep them. So your sheet may say you have to pull a green and then a yellow and then a blue and then another yellow and then another blue, but everybody has to pull 2 of each color
Mhm.
in order to win. So, but you have to do it in that order. And when you pull your piece out, when you pull your piece out, there's this little tick mark thing over on the
there's little
side.
tick marks.
And if it moves, then you lose not only the piece that,
Well, if it moves past the tick mark,
if it moves past a tick mark,
yes,
then you lose not only the piece you just pulled out,
all the pieces.
all
you
your
have on your board.
pieces, as well as anything else that may have fallen out in the process, which happens more often than not, let me tell you. I mean, it was okay.
Yep.
We've had this one for a while. It was a Goodwill find. We kind of talked about whether to keep it. I can see kids having a good time with it. It plays 6 players,
Mhm.
but at the same time, pieces were flying. And that
Yes.
concerns me at any of our events because pieces end up on the floor. And if we're busy, we may not notice that.
Is this the one though? You said you had a bunch of.
I
spare
do have a
pieces
lot
for?
of spare pieces for this one. So we may take this to one event, see if it comes off, how the kids feel about it. I feel because of the colors and the movable pieces, it's going to attract attention. So we may try this one out, see what happens. If it doesn't come off the shelf or the kids put it away before they've even begun, then it may end up on the sale pile.
Yep.
But that is BoobyTrap.
The next one is Bonkers.
This game
This one, if you've seen our last
was
show,
funny.
the 9th episode, there was another game, Big Deal, that had the
Yeah.
exact same artwork.
I swear it had the same artwork. I would not be a
Yes.
bit surprised if it was the same
But
artist.
in this game, basically, it's a roll and move, and you're moving, and you've got little tiles in front of you that wherever you stop, if it doesn't have a tile out, you can now put a tile out, which could be move to the nearest scoring area, move back 3 spaces, move ahead 5 spaces, move back 12
The
spaces.
board is essentially blank.
Yeah, so you're building, you only got a couple spots,
Yeah.
and this is what the tiles look like. And you are putting the tiles in these little
Yeah.
blank spots as you stop and doing what the tile says. So you're building the board as you go.
So the next time somebody stops there, they now have to follow that same
Mhm.
thing and jump, and their piece would jump ahead too.
And it
So-
has this big giant scoreboard that goes in this big plastic tray.
Yep.
And you're starting at the start, and you're moving down. First person to opens the game.
Yeah.
Now you also had another card
You go to lose. Yeah.
that if somebody's getting farther ahead and you don't want them to do that, you can tell them to go to lose, and at lose you lose 1 point.
Yeah, you lose a point.
You lose a point off the tracker. So, and it's only a one-time playable card. We never used it.
Nope, never had to.
But
I think we were pretty neck and neck the whole time. So
just by the look of the game, I think we decided that it probably would not come off the shelf.
I don't think it would come off the shelf, despite how much fun it is. I'm hoping that somebody who is really into the retro games will snap it up and enjoy it. But I think this one's going to hit the sale pile just because I think it is. I don't know. I would love to say the kids would take it off the shelf.
Yeah,
and
this
really have a
was
good time with it.
79, I think.
But I just don't know that that will happen. Yeah. So anyhow, that is
Bonkers. Well, it says this game is bonkers. Okay. Next we have a little tiny game from TMG, and that is Bottlecap Vikings. This is, I don't even remember where we got this.
We picked this up at Goodwill.
Did we?
I picked it up at Goodwill, yes, quite a while ago. We've only played it twice. It's actually been in our collection for quite some time now. And I don't enjoy it.
No,
I mean, I
got a little bit of take that, but there's easy ways to get around it.
Yeah. I'm not the take
and
that
you're
was
just kind of either upgrading your house as it goes up the tracks, and as it goes up the tracks, you're gonna get those powers because each little level gives you a power, and you got to remember because there's no way to mark that you went that direction, and it kind of has the board where that goes up kind of reminds me of the board from Aquasphere.
Yeah.
The
you have different options to go
where you have different, you could go this way,
or
you go that way,
or blocked out the other ways. But no, I definitely see that. But I don't know. It's
other than that, because you're either going to win the game by getting them all the way up to to 10 glory points, although the one that board I had to go to 11.
Yep.
Or you're getting your house all the way to the top. Which this is how I won.
Yeah,
I got my house all the way
to the top before I did because I was short 1 gold.
Basically, you get your home all the way up, as they say, the throne, which is a picture on the box.
But this one we decided
way too simple. I think
it's and
it'll get overlooked.
I think the rule book is too complex for what it is.
Yeah,
it's very confusing. We actually had to look up a video on how to play this because the rule book did not make sense in a couple areas. So it's going on the sale pile.
Yep.
It's just not something I see coming off the shelf. And yes, while it is a very small game and will fit nicely into my little small shelving unit I take, I've got other things I'd rather put there, I think.
And you could use the fact when you sell it, it's a TMG game, and since TMG is no longer,
it was originally $20.
Wow. I would not have paid $20 for that.
So. Anyway, that is Bottlecap Vikings. No bottle caps in sight.
Okay, the next one is we actually have a playthrough video of this, and this is Botanik or Botanik, whichever one.
I mean, Botanik, I've heard it both ways. I prefer the word botanic, but then at the same time, a botanist. They specifically have botanists in it, so I can't say it.
Botanic.
Never mind. Yes. Botanic makes more sense. Anyway, this is
so it's Botanic.
Botanic. Anyway, regardless, however you want to pronounce it is correct. This is a tile laying. You're building your pipes with various colored tiles. Again, we have a playthrough video of this out. But there's the main board, and each round you are either placing a tile.
Those are starting tiles.
Yep, those are the 2 starting tiles. You are either placing a tile on your side of the board,
and there's already
or
tiles
in the middle. Yes, there's already tiles set up in the middle. So say this tile was in the middle up here, and I grabbed this. Well, I can't use that tile. Yeah, regardless. So say we've got
There's
a
a tile
couple
you can
tiles.
use.
Yep, there we go. So say we've got different tiles here in the center, like this one and this one. I could not place this one here because it does not match color or shape, but I could put it here because it matches the shape. Or I could put, not that one. I could put this one here because it matches the shape, or here because it matches the color. And once I've done that, so all the pieces are on my side, I can't get access to them until somehow they're released. So say I put this piece right here,
And somebody put a piece here.
then
yeah,
I could either
there's-
put this piece here, or he could put this piece here to try and release his side, but that would release my side because the color and shape no longer match.
Mhm.
So, and then you take this piece and you add it to your starter piece to start creating a network of pipes.
And you could watch our video to get
Yes,
more information
there
about the
you go.
game. This one is staying in the collection
For
because
sure.
we
I
liked it
really
enough.
like this one. This is,
This is staying in our collection.
yes, this is the other one that this is the second one I actually won. But anyway,
Mhm.
so that is
Botanik.
Botanik. However you want to pronounce it is correct.
Tomato. Okay, so the next one is a game that I figured I would lose so badly at, and that's Big Boggle. I don't think
Okay.
I've ever really played Boggle before.
I have never played Boggle. I was really shocked that I had never played it.
Mhm.
I mean, it makes total sense. That yeah. The only thing I was not sure of when I first started, because I mean, you make letters out of the words. You make words out of the letters, no problem. But what I didn't know until I read the directions was that you actually have to, the letters all have to be next to each other diagonally or
Mhm.
orthogonically. I'm not good at puzzles. I've discovered this. I like puzzly games. I like being able to figure that puzzle out. When it comes to visually looking at something like this and seeing the words, I suck at it. Very much so. So yeah, I lost this one pretty bad. It is going to stay in the collection. Boggle is a very popular game. We know
The travel
that
collection.
in the travel collection. Yes, I'm sorry. It's not something we'll play very often because, well, quite frankly, I suck at it. But it is a popular game and therefore it will stay in the travel collection. So
Next is a blue-orange game, right, by Rainer Knizia. This is one we really tried to like.
I would love to like this. I love blue orange games. 99% of them, I really love the quality and the components, and the quality is good on this.
The components are great.
And I think if we played higher player count,
it might be
it
better.
might be better, but we only ever played 2. We moved this one to the travel collection some time ago because we just were not. Yeah,
This has
has it
been
been over
right
here?
there by Goonies over there for a long time.
you're
Ever since you got
right.
it, it has always been in our collection.
Okay,
But
you're
we
right.
had
I
only
forgot
played it
about that.
once until just the other day, and that was our second play of
That was
it.
our second play. Opinions didn't change.
Well, I think it stayed in our collection because I thought she liked it. So I was like, well, it's a game she likes. I'll suffer through it every time we play it. Then I find out she didn't really like it either.
Okay, so how this one plays. Get the box open, which, whatever. So the board is nothing but islands and waterways. And the idea
And
is
hexes.
that you are, full of hexes. The idea is you are colonizing, you're exploring the board and putting out your pieces in the process. So it plays in 2 rounds. The first round, you're going to put out, you can put out boats anywhere on the board you want, in the water, of course. And from the boats, you can spread. Of course, they stay put. Once you put them out, they stay there. But then from there, you can put out your colonizer colony, your settlers.
Colonists, settlers, whatever.
Thank you. You can put those out on anywhere out here on the board. Now, in each of these stone circles, there are different artifacts and fruit.
There's the statues.
Food. Yeah, there's statues and there are different food items. And you're
Yeah.
going around, and those are points. So you're going around trying to put your colonists over these areas to get those. But in the meantime, you're trying to make a line and hit as many of the islands as you can, because you end up scoring based on how long your line is, how many islands you manage to get into a single line of your colonists and your boats. You're also scoring by majority on each of the islands. So whoever has the most colonists on each island. Plus, oh, where's the huts? There we go. You've got these cute little Hershey Kiss huts that you're putting out. For round 2, this is all that stays on the board.
Yeah,
everything else goes away.
Because once everybody puts out all their tokens,
Yep.
the round ends. You do all the scoring, then all these tokens come off. Only the huts that you've placed
plus
stay on.
anything you put on those circles. If you put a hut on a circle, it disappears. So
yes,
you can only put these out first round, and they only stay on the islands, but not in the circles. So second round, you play exactly the same, only now you're building off of your huts rather than your boats. Same exact scoring mechanisms. You're still scoring by how many islands you can get in.
So it's kind of an area majority.
It is. It's an area majority, area control.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel it wasn't for us. Maybe it was just too simplistic for us. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It is moving into the other collection. I honestly hope it'll be better at 4 players, but I could see it being a very easy game to teach because there's not a lot of hard mechanisms in it, but it is going to go into the other collection for now. And we'll see how it does over there. But that is Blue Lagoon.
Next we have Blurt. If you've ever gone to a Goodwill, you see this game almost in every Goodwill you go to.
And I'll tell you, and that's where I got it, is Goodwill. This was hysterical. We had a really good time with this game.
Mm-hmm.
I was really shocked. But
we played this with our son and his wife.
Yep, on 4th of July.
4th of July,
Yeah.
Yes.
So the board is literally just colored squares. Yeah, just a bunch of colored squares. So one person is reading out the card.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually, I mean, it's simple stuff. Like, no, shield boy. Shush up. So it is very simple stuff like a room where food is cooked or prepared. Well, that's the kitchen, I hope. The sister of one's father or mother. A small axe with a short handle. So it's just little things with 1-word answers. And the first person who can get the answer right gets to move ahead the number that they rolled on the die.
Because before you read the question, you roll the dice. That's how many spaces the person who wins the card.
Right. And that also dictates which question the question answer person or question person is reading. God, the question that never mind. It dictates which question is going to be read.
Because the top one's 1 to 3, as you can barely make it out.
It's a little
and then
more
the bottom's 5,
blue.
5, 4, and 6. Huh?
A little more clear on the blue.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
it's the
same.
same thing. But anyway, so I thought it was a fun game.
It was fun.
Jackie won for sure.
Yeah.
You, I think, came in last, or was it Justin? I don't remember.
I
But
don't know.
it plays. It says it plays.
No, I came in second. I was in last. Justin lost.
Okay. It plays 3 to 12 players because you can play teams. There's also a junior version of it. So I thought that was kind of neat. They included the junior version in here. It just changes the rules up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's going to stay in the collection. I think it's a fun party game.
And it says on the
plays a lot
front
of
of the
people.
box, it says it's the Webster game of word racing. So every word on there is in the Webster dictionary.
So yeah, a lot of fun. So if you see this one in your Goodwill and you like those party games, that I mean, we got a lot of fun and we're not party gamers. So
I found though if you yell out a random word, it screws them up. It just ruins their concentration. You can sneak the right word in.
whatever. Anyway, that is Blurt.
Mm-hmm. The next one is a teeny tiny game that we didn't even buy.
Nope.
We got this. This tells you how long we've had it, and there's dust all over it. This is set on our shelf. We got this.
It was the Gen Con 2 years before Mayfair went out.
Yes.
Because it was the year that we discovered the Mayfair ticket thing with the
knighting and
all
getting
that.
Discounts on their games when you did it.
Yeah.
So this was one of the prizes you got to be knighted, and that is Le Bomb. This it's a very simple game. I mean, you've got the bomb, it sits out in the middle, and you roll a dice.
Kind of like
If
hot
you
potato.
have,
I mean,
Yeah, it's
seriously,
a lot like hot
it's,
potato.
it's a dice version of hot potato.
yeah, if you roll the fuse, nothing happens. If you
Yep.
roll the picture of the bomb, now you have the bomb in front of you, and then if somebody rolls the explosion on it,
Then you blow up.
blow up, and the bomb goes back to the middle. And depending on how many players it is, you keep going until
So-
there's one person left.
We're gonna put this in the other collection
I
because
can
I
see a lot of
think
teenagers loving to play
I
something
think
like
this
that.
is something that teenagers would enjoy. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is going to go into the travel collection for some of the competitions we go to.
Next is the Bloody Inn.
This is the third one I won.
This
This is the last one I
Yeah.
won.
is a great card game. Z Garcia turned me onto it. So
I mean, it's okay. It's fun if you can go into it with the right frame of mind.
Yeah, because there
You're-
is killing in this, and you're
killing
burying
people and you're burying bodies to avoid the police from finding you. And
But
if
basically
police
the
catch you,
game-
you pay a $10
The game
fee.
is that it's a hotel. You got a couple peasants you start off with. It's going to work for you. People come in. You've got keys in certain rooms. That's your color, so you're going to get money. If
Yeah.
the person goes to that room and stays there through makes it through the whole night,
Mhm.
then you're drafting cards off there by either bribing them to come work for you, or
killing them.
you're killing them for their money, because you're going to steal their money when you bury them under buildings that you're building that some of the other cards allow you to do. But if there is a police officer still in the hotel at the end of the round and you have a dead body you haven't buried yet,
Pay
they
it.
come, they find it, and then you have to pay
10
the
francs.
grave digger 10 francs and lose basically 10 francs, and they take it away. You don't get the money, because you won't get the money. You won't steal the money from them until you bury them.
Yeah.
And
So-
the game, you win the game by having the most money. So you're trying to get the money, and the only way to get the money is by killing the hotel guests
Mhm.
and burying them. So it's a pretty morbid thing.
Yep. We didn't
But-
talk about what was happening with this one.
This one I like enough to say
Okay.
it would not go over there.
No, I don't think it would be appropriate for over
Yes.
there. So if we're going to keep it, it definitely stays in our collection.
Yes.
I don't think it's something we're going to pull off the shelf very often, but when you've got 4 players, and
You want to play a card game?
I know a few people
I
who
like
would
it enough to
probably
keep it.
enjoy this. So yeah. So there you go. That is the Bloody Inn.
Mhm. Next is Bosk. It's compared to photosynthesis, and it plays nothing really like it.
Literally the only thing that's the same is you're putting out trees. That's it.
This one, the
So-
trees have numbers on them.
Yeah, this one, the trees are numbered. The other one, the trees are all sizes, and we'll get to photosynthesis when we get to the peas.
In about
But-
4 years.
Probably. So this one, I do like, the one thing I like about this is it is double-sided. So you've got one side for 2 players. I think it's 2 or 3, but there's a larger side for 2 players, and then the smaller grids are from 4 players. So I like the fact
think
it
you got that
scales that way.
backwards, didn't you?
No, it is. This
That's
is
the
2-player.
Right.
And actually, I just noticed the 3-player. This is for 3 and 4, but you see this white line? You can't place on that for 3-player. So 3-player has to stay within the white line, and then 4-player gets the whole board. So I love the fact that it scales, which keeps it competitive. But this has these gorgeous 3D, all these beautiful colors of trees. Can I keep it in camera here? So you're placing the trees out on the grids.
You're not putting them in the squares. You're putting them in
You're
on
putting
the
them on the grids.
cross
Yep.
sections.
So you're putting your trees out, and then you've got this, oh, here he
The
is,
hiker.
the hiker, that after the first round, it plays in 2 rounds. The first round, you are putting out all your trees, and everybody has 8 of them, with numbered 1 to 4. The hiker goes around, and 1 grid at a time will count up all the trees for each player in that row, and whoever has the most gets the most points, and then there's an award for second place. So they go all the way around the board, well, two sides
Two
of the
sides
board,
of the board.
doing this on all the rows and columns. Then the hiker goes away and you pull out this board that tells you the direction of the wind. And you've got per round, because you've now got 8 trees on the board to pull off. And the first round, you're going to pull off one of your 1 trees. But before you do that, you are putting out, and I love these components, you are putting out these beautiful wood leaves. Hopefully you can see that. But you're putting out these beautiful wood leaves, and there's some of all the different colors, of course, orange and purple and red and yellow. You're putting them out in the direction of that it states that the wind is blowing on the board. So you have a choice. Every player has 8 leaves numbered 2 through 8. And then you have, if I can find him,
a squirrel marker.
Of course, he's going to be the very last one that I didn't pull out.
Okay.
Nope, there he is. Then everybody has a squirrel marker. The squirrel marker doesn't lay down any leaves, but he places, of course, the purple would be at the very bottom of the bag. He places out this little squirrel on top of a stack of leaves. Because as you're placing your leaves, you can place on top of other people's leaves and take control of that area. Because this is essentially an area majority game.
Mhm.
The leaves determine the majority in the landscape that it's in. So the squirrel basically sits on top of a pile of leaves and says, nope, nobody else can place here. This pile is mine. Our game came with the deluxe squirrel because I think we got
a Gen Con.
Yeah, we got a Gen
Because we
Con
demoed
special.
this at Gen Con and pretty
Yeah.
much immediately went and found it and bought
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. And I love the components on this.
I think I enjoyed this one a little bit more than photosynthesis
Photosynthesis?
because it plays faster.
It does play a lot faster than
Photosynthesis seems to drag on.
Yeah, this one is very straightforward.
Yeah.
But
But this isn't as popular as
no,
photosynthesis.
it never
was.
gained the popularity that photosynthesis did, which surprised me. So, but anyway, that is
And as you can tell, it's staying in our
Ah.
collection.
that is starting to rip. We need to
Yep.
get some glue and fix that. Okay. But yes, this is staying in our collection.
This was by Floodgate
That
Games. That's right.
is-
Okay.
Bosk.
Next, our next 2 is a Steffenfeld Games. If you've ever listened to our podcast, you know I'm a big Steffenfeld fan. Not as much as now than I used to be, though. But
Pretty much
this
that.
is Bora Bora. This is all about a Polynesian island area.
Mhm. Polynesian
and
set of islands. Yeah.
You're basically building huts in the island to gain fish, and you're finding workers, basically the men and women, and they're going to do separate things. You're building buildings to get points. It's all about a point thing. You're getting
it's all
tattoos.
There's a lot going
Yeah,
on.
it's
this board.
Steffenfeld game, so it's
Can't
a
even-
big, humongous point salad game. This
Yeah, I don't
board's
know if
pretty
I
big,
took a
so
picture of it. Well, yeah, it is a pretty good sized board. Oh, not that big actually. Whatever. It's actually pretty
yeah,
small.
it is. Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't look very busy. It's a busy game.
So down here, and it's a dice. Basically, it's a dice placement.
Yes.
Basically, you're rolling your 3 dice, and you're going to go out and like over here. If I have a 4, I can go over here and get a woman or a man that's going to give me powers that go on my board over here. It's going to give me powers later in the game. You can go up to the fire track. Like I have a 6, I'm going to go here on the fire track. That's going to give me more stuff to do. Over here, it's going to allow me to go places. Like if I had a 4, I was right here. I could build a new camp either this way because it's a 4. I could come across. It's a 4. I could go up because that's a 4. I can go over here because it's a 1 because 1 is less than 4. So you go in the dice.
Here's
Minus.
where you're actually placing your dice.
Right.
There's tiles that give you
The powers of the
different
different actions.
but the key here is though, and this is the unique piece to this, is that once you've placed your dice here, so say I place a 4 here, nobody else can place a 4, 5, or 6. They
They
can
have to
only
go
place
lower.
a 1, 2, or 3. So unless you have a card from the gods,
Yeah, there are
that allow
cards.
you to do it.
Everybody starts off with a
There's
certain
all-
amount of
yeah,
cards, and
there's
gods, and
basically cards that break the rules for you.
Mhm.
So
but you have to
um,
have an offering token, which you're getting in the
Yep.
game. That these
Little
these
food
here
baskets,
that
yep.
you get in places
So-
in the game.
it's a fun game. I'd forgotten. We've only played it a couple times. As long
Mhm.
as it's been in the collection, we've only played it a couple times, but I'd forgotten how much fun it was.
Yep.
Lots of things, typical Stefan Feld point salad game.
Mhm.
So lots going on, lots of ways to earn points, plenty of ways to lose, as I did. But so anyway, that is
Bora Bora.
a very, very brief, not so great description of Bora Bora because there's a lot. more
But
to
it's a
it than
Stefan
that.
Feld. It'll stay in our collection where it belongs.
Yep.
Until I get completely tired of Stefan Feld games, and
No.
we'll start moving them or get another
Right.
copy of it. What?
Oh, you moved to the other room.
Yes.
Okay. I see what you said.
The next Stefan Feld game, I'm sure if you're following along, we're in the bees, you know what it is. That is Bonfire.
This is the one that has the ginormous board. I'm not.
This
going
one
out.
has a really big board.
Yes.
It's very colorful. It's
It
a
is.
lot different than a normal Stefan Feld game because of all the color.
It is a beautiful game. I will
Mhm.
give it that. It is absolutely gorgeous. But the board has multiple areas. You have cards you can pick up throughout the game that give you special powers or end game scoring, or not end game, intermediate scoring.
Mhm.
You have the bonfire area here where you can go to pick up resources or portal tokens. You have the river island area where you go to pick up different things or to go to find the oracles so that they will come back to your island and help you light the fires.
Mhm.
There's a lot going on here. Again, typical Stefan Feld point salad, a million different ways to get points.
Mhm.
This is another one we did a video on quite a while back. It was one of the early videos, so forgive us for the quality. I apologize. But
That'd be Bonfire
Bonfire.
staying in the collection.
yes,
So now we have a grouping of games now that we're going to go over. And this is a game that Katie really likes.
I
and
do. I love this
lost
game.
Every single version
we
that
tied
we
on
played.
one.
The very last one, the
We did
base
tie,
game.
yeah.
So we're actually going to start off with the travel version of Blokus, however you want to pronounce it.
I love these.
This one,
games.
it's a two-player version of it.
Yeah.
Smaller board, smaller.
Yeah, this one's got just,
pieces.
if you've ever seen Blokus, the Blokus board, this board is just this little bitty thing. Shush. It's just this little bitty, specifically meant for 2 players. So I like that. Easy to take, hence the travel. You know, it's all you get.
This is over in the travel.
Yes, all of
Imagine
these are
that.
in
The travel game
collection.
is in the travel collection.
But you know what? It's not something that comes off our shelf very often. We actually had the
Mhm.
large version in our collection for a really long time, but it never came off the shelf. So I didn't feel like I needed 2 of them in the house. So we figure if I really want it, I can go get it out of the other room. And if we ever stop doing those events, and then it'll come back here. So, but that is Blokus Travel Edition.
And this is staying in the
This is-
travel collection.
I think we decided we were going to keep all of them, didn't
because
we?
there's so many. They're different.
They're completely
all
different.
4 of these are different. So
Yeah, I think we're going to
next
at least
we
for now.
have Blokus 3D.
Yes.
This is a lot like if you've ever played the game Rumus.
Rumus.
This is Rumus.
Yeah, this is exactly Rumus bought out by
Now
Blokus.
Rumus we also have, and it's actually in our collection.
Yeah.
We have a copy of it in our collection, but do we need it?
I don't know.
I think I like the blocks and everything, the Rumus.
Yeah, I think the
it's a lot
blocks
cooler
in
looking.
Rumus are nicer. However, in this one, Rumus has just cardboard mats, and there's no defining them.
Right.
Whereas this one has this really nice plastic tray and inserts for 4 different types of buildings that you can build to lock all your pieces in place. And that I like. And for that reason, this one will stay. I don't know about Rumus, but I do like the blocks in Rumus better because these blocks are kind of dull.
Mhm.
But I love these 3D blocks. But the idea is that you are building the shape. Each player is putting pieces down. And then the fun part is now the next player who goes, you have to connect to your original piece. So
And
like,
you can't make
you
holes.
can't make holes. So the only thing green could do is probably go right there and hope for the best.
Yeah. But
So
on here, you've got to follow the building.
Yes, you've got to follow it, and you can't see it from there, but there are building restrictions. Like for 2 players, this can only go too high. For 4 players,
It's 4.
it looks like it goes 4 blocks high. So, and each of these is a little bit different. So like this one is a pyramid. This one you build up literally in the shape of a pyramid.
Yeah.
This one's a set of stairs. So each of them are a little bit different. So I don't know. I really like this. You win by, when the whole thing is done, by looking down at it and how many squares of yours are available to see. Really enjoy this one. I always have. It will stay in the collection. Yeah, that's Blokus 3D.
Blokus, Blokus. We hear it all. The next one is Trigon. This one is even different from the others.
Yeah. This one, all the others are square pieces. This one, as you can imagine, are triangles. So the board is just a hexagon, same material as all the other Blokus boards, but all the pieces are versions of triangles. So, and they all lock in just like you would. So now, I guess with Blokus, the main rule is that you cannot
connect. You got to connect to the corner.
All your pieces have to connect at a corner. So this one gave a little bit of variation to it, because typically with the perfect squares, it's definitely a corner. But with this one, like, that's legal. I could butt this in at the corner. Now I could not do that because that would put it side by side, but I could do that. And meanwhile, all of your opponents are trying to do the same thing and block off all your avenues. So, but you can't just arbitrarily lay a piece down somewhere.
You got to build off.
It literally has, yeah. They all have to build off of your, oopsie, that's not legal. They all have to build off your first piece laid down and then branch from there. So I don't know. I've always liked these. The pieces are great. They all lock in place. There's just this great tactile feel to all of these. So, but anyhow, that is Blokus Trigon. And I said, for now, it's going to stay. We may take a few of them again, like normal, see how they come off, see which ones attract attention, and we'll go from there. But I do like the variation of the triangles on this one.
So, and the last one is the original Blokus.
Yep. So, and this one, I'm so ashamed of you, because I know I would put that on.
I didn't do that.
Does it count if you open it?
I'm just turning the lid around.
Okay.
It needs to be turned around because you know they got to be
So
the same.
anyway, here's a good picture of the board if you can kind of see that. This is how this is kind of set up here. Everybody has to start in a corner on this one, whereas the other two, there were spots on the board and raised spots that everybody started on. But this one, everybody starts in a corner and all come in together. And then, like I said, this is probably a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like when you're done. It's a very, very colorful board. It's such a pretty game.
And it's an award-winning game.
It is. It is. So, but anyway, that is the regular Blokus. So, again, that will stay in our collection as well because I enjoy them, but it will stay in the travel collection rather than ours. Okay. That is
so
it.
That'll do it for episode 10. And like I said at the beginning, if you haven't seen the other 9, go back and watch them and let us know in the comments if you have any of these games, you like these games, if there's some of them that you never heard of and want more information about, drop us a message in the comments. And she usually gets back with it within as soon
a
as
day
she
or
sees
two,
it.
Yeah, pretty quickly usually. We have one more episode of the bees left.
Yep.
Episode 11, part 5. So a couple weeks. Then we'll move on. So thank you so much for joining us. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as we are enjoying playing through literally every game in our collections.
Mhm.
We'll see you next. I don't want to say next month, but yeah,
We'll see you at the
soon.
next one.
There you go.